Welcome back! I hope you've had the pleasure and the time to play around with ChatGPT. Now, we're going to take a look at another AI chatbot called Gemini. According to Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google and Alphabet, and Demis Hassabis, CEO and co-founder of Google DeepMind, Gemini is the result of large-scale collaborative efforts by teams across Google. It can generalize and seamlessly understand, operate across, and combine different types of information including text, code, audio, image, and video. Let's watch this video that describes what Gemini is, how it came about, and its benefits to society.
One of the reasons we got interested in AI from the very beginning is that we always viewed our mission as a timeless mission. It's to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. But as information has grown in scale and complexity, the problem has gotten harder. So we always knew we needed to have a deeper breakthrough to make progress.
I've worked on AI my whole life because I've always felt it would be the most beneficial and consequential technology for humanity. Human beings in our society would have 5 senses, and the world we built and the media we consume is in those different modalities. So I'm super proud and excited to announce the launch of the Gemini era, a first step towards a truly universal AI model.
The Gemini approach to multimodality is all the kinds of things you want an artificial intelligence system to be able to do. And these are capabilities that haven't really existed in computers before.
Traditionally, multimodal models are created by stitching together text-only, vision-only, and audio-only models in a suboptimal way at a secondary stage. Gemini is the multimodal from the ground up, so it can seamlessly have a conversation across modalities and give you the best possible response.
Gemini is our largest and most capable model. It means that Gemini can understand the world around us in the way that we do and absorb any type of input and output. So not just text like most models, but also code, audio, image, and video. What's amazing about Gemini is that it's so good at so many things. As we started getting to the end of the training, we started seeing that Gemini was better than any other model out there on these very, very important benchmarks. For example, each of the 50 different subject areas that we tested on, it's as good as the best expert humans in those areas.
It's very rare that you can work on a technology at a foundational level and it simultaneously can impact all our products.
We created a family of models that can run on everything from mobile devices to data centers, each of which is actually best in class.
Gemini will be available in 3 sizes. Gemini Ultra, our most capable and largest model for highly complex tasks. Gemini Pro, our best performing model for a broad range of tasks. And Gemini Nano, our most efficient model for on-device tasks.
We want to provide the best foundational building blocks, and then we know developers and enterprise customers are going to figure out really creative ways to further refine our Gemini foundational models, and the potential's almost limitless.
So at Google, there's this healthy disregard for the impossible, and that has oriented us to be both bold and responsible together. As these systems become more capable, all of those capabilities also raise new questions.
We have to think about what it means to have an image be a part of, for example, the input. Because an image might be innocuous on its own, or text might be innocuous on its own, but the combination could be offensive or hurtful.
Safety and responsibility has to be built in from the beginning. And at Google DeepMind, that's what we've done with Gemini.
We develop proactive policies and adapt those to the unique considerations of multimodal capabilities. We then do rigorous testing against those policies to prevent the harms that we've identified with approaches like classifiers and filters.
If I were to look at the foundational breakthroughs in AI over the past decade, Google has been at the forefront of many of those breakthroughs. And I think Gemini continues that rich tradition.
It's been an enormous sort of monumental engineering task, which has been, very challenging, but also very exciting.
I have been at Google for quite a while, and the reason I'm here is really I believe in the company's mission, and I think Gemini is a great step in that overall mission.
we end up with a world that has more knowledge and that people have more access to information that otherwise would not be available to them.
That's what excites me, the chance to make AI helpful for everyone, everywhere in the world.
Let's begin by opening Google Gemini. I'm going to open a new tab, type in gemini.google.com. Similar to ChatGPT, you will need to log in to your email address. And as you can see, similar to ChatGPT, it also has these suggestions on how to use Google Gemini. Okay, it has this, the left panel consists of the history. We can collapse the left panel menu to get a more comprehensive view of this main panel. We can click this and take a look at how to improve conversations in using Gemini. You can click Learn More to understand what Google Gemini is and the terms related to the use of Google Gemini. The settings can be found here. We can change the theme, the color of the theme to dark and back to light. We can leave the real-time responses on. If you have previously shared your search terms before, then you can find them here. And you see that there are also this button here called extensions, which we will explore later. This version of Gemini is the free version, which I believe is the Ultra version. You can take a look at the 3 different versions of Google Gemini in this blog. Okay, and scroll down to learn more about Gemini, okay, how they were made, what their models are, or the description of their models, and what the 3 different versions of Google Gemini are, what is best for you and your applications. This is where you add your prompt. And we can begin to use Google Gemini by taking a look at what we have used earlier, okay, such as this problem involving the projectile, or the range of a projectile. So I've copied the prompt from ChatGPT here in the prompt here to Google Gemini, and then let's see how it compares with ChatGPT. Now, the good thing about ChatGPT is that it writes the equations, okay, neatly, like as you see here. In Gemini, you see that the equations are written in text format. I hope that this is something that Google Gemini can improve upon later, because it's actually easier to see the expressions in equation format rather than in text format. So let's see how how Gemini computes for the range of the projectile. We can see the final answer here, and then how it was derived, the total time. Okay, so it was derived by taking the time corresponding to the maximum height where the velocity is 0. So you get this time going up then you double that time to get the total time, and then the total time to get, multiply the total time by the horizontal velocity to get the range of the projectile. Okay, so this is actually a slightly simpler approach to the solution showed in ChatGPT, but regardless, the solution is also correct. There's even a description here of what the maximum range is, or what the angle corresponding to the maximum range here is. So we can give a feedback by clicking the good response button and say that it's easy to correct and easy to understand, but I don't think it is complete. Okay, and then we click submit to give the feedback. Here we can also modify the response, okay, to make it let's say shorter. Okay, so this is the short version, and longer. Okay, so this longer solution apparently is not the solution that we had earlier. Okay, let's say more casual. Let's just take a look. Okay, and maybe more professional. Probably this is the solution that we've seen earlier. No, it's not the solution that we've seen earlier. So this is actually a little bit slightly simpler than the solution than the first solution that it showed. Now, if you click this, it shows the draft, the various solutions that it presents. Okay, so it has different drafts of the solution. Okay, so here we have the derivation of the range of a projectile, for the first draft, the second draft, and the third draft. So you can take a look at various drafts that Gemini has generated. Okay, so that's that for the projectile range. Let's go back and let's take a look at the drag, the physics of motion when the drag is present. So let's create a new chat, okay, and then enter the prompt, or enter the question here in the prompt, and then let's see what Gemini gives us. So this is a linear drag, of course, because the force is just proportional to the velocity. Okay, so here there's no drag along the x-axis. Along the y-axis we have this dragging force. Okay, and then it determines. So here are kinematic equations along the y-axis, not the kinematic equations, but the equations of motion. And this is the equation of motion along the x-axis, the equation of motion along the y-axis. Of course, this gives us a constant velocity because there's no force along the x-axis, there's no net force. And this one doesn't really give us the full solution unless we solve it numerically, or we solve the differential equation. Okay, of course, you can try to solve the differential equation. You can try to ask Gemini to solve the differential equation later, but I would like to move on to other stuff so that we have more time to explore the capabilities of Gemini. So let's just do one more, and let's compare what Gemini will give us if we want to learn about machine learning. Okay. So here is the prompt for me if I want to learn about machine learning within 6 months. let's see what Gemini will give us. Okay, so it sort of gives us the same thing compared to ChatGPT. Yes, so yeah, it's basically the same thing that we saw with ChatGPT. So we can give it a feedback just to give it some just to show, or just to provide a new learning data for the model. Okay, so now that we've done that, okay, now let's take a look at what these extensions do. If you click on extensions, what you'll see are these Google Flights, Google Hotels, Google Maps, Google Workspace, and YouTube. Now, since Gemini was developed by Google, it just makes sense to have Gemini help you with your work in relation to the extensions that are available in Google, like your Gmail, for example, your Google Drive, YouTube, and then Google Maps, Google Flights, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at what we can do with this extension. So we'll create a new chat, and then let's say that I want to look for something in my Gmail account. So what I'm going to do is to type in then Gmail, and click this, and let's say I want to look for conversations related to the research that I used to do on carbon nanotubes. For conversations or for emails related to carbon nanotube research. Okay, now this is what's beautiful about Gemini, because now it's accessing my emails. Okay, and taking a look at all the emails that I have where there's a mention of carbon nanotube research. And here it found about 3 or 4 emails. So here are the emails. This is the email in relation to the manuscript that we submitted, and these are the emails related to the project on carbon nanotubes. And if you go to Gmail, okay, let's try that. So let's say gmail.com, and let's type in carbon nanotube. Okay, then we see that it doesn't show anything related to carbon nanotubes. Now you see the advantage of having Gemini as a tool, okay, to look for certain objects in your Google extensions. Okay, now what if I want to look for articles that I have in my Google Drive? I know how cluttered our Google Drives can be, especially with all the information that we're trying to upload in the cloud. Okay, so with Gemini, it'll be easier to look for these documents. Okay, so in this specific task, I'm going to ask Gemini to look for articles, a research article related to graphene. Okay, so we found these articles that I have uploaded in my Google Drive that are related to graphene. And I can actually select these articles, okay, and type in summarize or at Google Docs, summarize these articles, and provide the key points in the graphene research. Okay. Now it produced this summaries, okay, about these three articles. So if you want to take a closer look at the article, so let's say that let's take a look at this article on transparent flexible graphene triboelectric nanogenerators. So let's say from the article by Kim, 2014, describe how one might be able to, or maybe describe the methodology. Or summarize the methodology. In producing graphene-based triboelectric nanogenerators. Okay, as you can see, it provides a step-by-step method. Okay, so first you produce a single layer graphene using chemical vapor deposition, then transfer graphene onto a flexible plastic as a substrate, and then you place a spacer between the PET substrate and graphene to create a small gap, and then another PET substrate with a graphene layer on the top electrode that is connected to the spacer graphene PET structure, and that gives you your flexible graphene-based triboelectric nanogenerator. Okay, so this really is a powerful tool and will help you very much in becoming more effective and more efficient when trying to look for articles that have been archived in your Google Drive. Okay, so what about if you want to take a vacation and you want to go to Manila, for example, and look for restaurants there, Japanese restaurants. So let's consider Google Maps. So what are the best Japanese restaurants in Manila? Okay, so this is one recommended restaurant in Manila, and then it also this is another one, and both of them are pointed out in Google Maps so that it'll be easier for you to find them. Okay, what about if you want to go to, let's say, to go on a vacation and take a flight going to Boracay, for example. So let's say me and my family want to travel to Boracay on, let's say, May 17 to 20, 2024. Okay, there I will be traveling with my wife and 2 kids, twins, both 5 years old. Oops. Both 5 years old. Give me options, flight options from cheapest to the most expensive. Show me the prices in Philippine peso per person. And we want to travel after 9 p.m. because 9 a.m. because we have kids, and from Manila, travel to Boracay, travel from Manila to Boracay, from Manila, and return to Manila before 6 p.m. Okay, let's see what Gemini gives us. Okay, there's one option, okay, or there are actually three options. Two from Cebu Pacific, ZepGo, Philippine Air Asia, and here are the prices. Okay, why are they in Canadian dollars? So let's just correct this. Philippine peso. Anyway, so we have these flights. Okay, these 5 options that we can choose from. So what is the? Let's just type in how much is 434 to Philippine peso. Okay, so that's the price per person round trip. So it's rather expensive, but of course, it's probably the reason why it's expensive is because I have these restrictions regarding time, and then of course the flight will be in May, so it's rather short, yeah. But in any case, you have this tool, this Gemini, for you to be able to use. In essence, you don't really need, you won't be, in essence, you don't really need a new browser to search for these kinds of stuff. You don't need to create new tabs or new windows. You just need to open Gemini and just log into your account, and then you can use these tools that are available, these extension tools that are available in Google. Okay, let's explore some more, and I'm going to open a new chat, and let's try YouTube. So let's try YouTube. Okay, so in YouTube, I want to learn about machine learning. I have zero knowledge. I've heard that Andrew Ng's videos. Okay, so let's say Andrew are highly recommended. Show me the videos by Andrew Ng's machine learning course in Coursera. Okay, so maybe it doesn't give me the course, the Coursera course. Okay, maybe if I edit this machine learning course and then update. Okay, so yes, so here are the videos that YouTube recommended. Let's try this. Try again without extensions. Okay. So these are the courses that are GPT or Gemini recommended, and there are also these draft replies. Okay. So of course you can update this if you want to look for the YouTube videos that you can learn from if you want to learn about machine learning. Okay, let's do some more exercises, and these exercises or these succeeding queries will be a little bit more exciting than what we just typed in. Okay, so if you like to read books, you can ask Gemini to give you a list of the most recommended science fiction books of all time. Okay, so yes, so here are these books, okay, which you might be interested in reading. If you're not into to old books after the turn of the century, or from maybe between 1920 and 2020, let's say, in the last 100 years, you can also say that. Okay. Sudune is up there again. Ender's Game, Necromancer, okay, The Martian. Okay, so you can write that. You can do that. You can also ask Gemini to write you an email. Tell your boss that you're taking a sick leave because you're sick. Okay, because of a sports injury, let's say. Okay, that's interesting. Now, what you can also do, which is not present in ChatGPT, is to upload images. Here in ChatGemini, you can upload an image. Okay, let's upload an image, and let's see. Let's take a look at this. What this image is. So, please describe this image as if you are talking to a 10-year-old child. Okay. Okay. If we're going to take a look at this image, this is actually an image of the trajectories of a particle with undergoing air resistance. Okay, and K is the value of the drag coefficient, and the different drag coefficients provide these different trajectories depending on the value of K. Okay, so here it explains what the image is to as if you are a 10-year-old child. Okay, so it says the curvy line on the left shows the path that the ball would take if there were no air resistance. This path is called a parabola. And the straighter lines show how the ball falls more and more as the air resistance increases. So let's revise this, and let's say to a college student. Okay, and then we update that. And let's see what we have here. Okay, now it's a little bit more complex. Okay, and we can further enhance this by clicking by modifying this response. Let's say if we make it more professional. Okay, so it's about the same explanation. So the figure depicts the numerically computed trajectories for various drag coefficients. Okay, the vertical and horizontal axis represent the non-dimensionalized vertical height and horizontal distance x respectively. Okay, so we can give it a response. Okay, and submit. Okay, and let's try another image. Okay, what about this image? Okay, so is this image? Okay, now this image was obtained from a Nature article, okay, where it describes two graphene layers that are placed on top of each other and then twisted. Okay, so this is a twisted bilayer of graphene, and when you twist a graphene bilayer, it creates what are called moire patterns, which you see in this image. And Gemini correctly describes this image as a moire pattern formed by a twisted bilayer graphene. And it also describes what the possible applications are of this image, okay, of this bilayer graphene. So let's see, and then we can also ask it to can you provide related literature on twisted bilayer graphene. So you can say that this is the first time that I've heard about it, about twisted bilayer graphene. Try on this material so that I can learn more about this. Okay, so here are the articles that it suggests. Okay, and here's the article. So we can see that the article is it exists. Okay, and this is, I believe, an article from 2019, and an article that describes superconductivity in twisted bilayer graphene. It's not really the article that I want to start with if I want to learn about twisted bilayer graphene, and if I've heard about it just for the first time. But it may be sufficient enough because I can practically go to the reference materials and take a look at the previous references or the previous works that describe this material and when this material was first discovered, and so on and so forth. Now, I'd like to show you one more thing about the Google Gemini, and this will be a little bit, maybe something that you'll be excited about. Okay, Google Gemini can actually generate images. All you need is your imagination. So, I imagine, okay, an elephant drinking or sipping a margarita, wearing shades and relaxing under the solar eclipse. Okay. so it takes a while, but let's see what it gives us. Okay, now it gives us this image. Okay. This one is more appealing to me than this one. Okay, we can ask it to generate more. Okay, so I still like this one. I don't know what your preferences are. You can ask it to generate even more images. Okay, yeah. So maybe yes. So I just say that I like the second image. Okay, and let's do one more. So what, generate an image of what traveling would look like 100 years from now. Okay, now this is interesting. I don't see any cars, of course, and most of the traveling that is involved is in the air. Okay, and these aircrafts seem to be to change direction, not in the usual way. Okay, in this way, it becomes from horizontal position to a vertical position, and here we have a very large spacecraft which can practically accommodate a city. And this one I don't really understand, but it's probably some, well, it's obviously some futuristic machine. This looks a little bit more like a Star Wars spacecraft, but again, it's all traveling by air. I don't see any land vehicles, okay, or water vehicles. Okay, and the future buildings also do not seem familiar. Okay, but these are all sketches, and this is what Gemini has given us. Perhaps if we change the prompt, then maybe we can have images that are probably to your liking, okay, or probably what you can imagine traveling might look like in 100 years from now. So, in any case, this is Gemini, and this is another tool that you can use for yourself and with your students in order to develop further your teaching capabilities and the capabilities of your students in terms of learning new things and trying to understand new material and looking for stuff that they can do in terms of research when they do their research work. I wanted to show you one more AI chat box, the Perplexity. Perplexity was designed specifically for academic purposes. Unfortunately, I underestimated the time and took a little bit too long in describing Gemini and what it can do. If you're interested, I do have a YouTube channel where I upload my talks and the videos I created related to artificial intelligence. My YouTube channel is called AI by IA. Feel free to take a look at the videos that I already made and uploaded. Ever since I started learning about machine learning and artificial intelligence, I have made it my mission to educate people about the benefits of AI and how to use them. I am open to being invited and giving talks about how you can use artificial intelligence in your classrooms and about machine learning methods. So in this YouTube channel, you'll find a crash course in machine learning, the most recent work made by my student, and these Summer Institute videos. In the future, I will be uploading more of the work that my students have been doing, and a video on using Perplexity just for you. I hope you find what you've learned today useful to you as educators, as well as to your students when you share this new knowledge with them. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them.